Welcome to Voices from the Bench, a dental laboratory podcast. Send us an email at info@voicesfromthebench.com or look for us on Facebook at Voices from the Bench. Greetings and welcome to episode 225 of Voices from the Bench. My name is Elvis.
And my name is Barbara. How are you?
I'm doing well. We're recording super early in the morning.
Yep.
I have deep morning coffee voice, and I thought I would extend the I am Elvis. I thought that would be nice.
And I giggled again, so maybe Joe will find that funny again.
What's happening? How are you?
I'm great, thank you. You let me sleep in, so I just rolled out of bed. It's Saturday morning. I'm going to, of course, go for a swim and then probably a run today. So it's pretty normal at this time in my existence.
So how do you decide what you do?
I've got a calendar.
Oh my God, you're organized.
And I researched how to get fast in a triathlon sprint, and then weekly, like a 6-week plan. And then I mix it up. I'm doubling up. Like normally it just says you run this day, you bike this day, and this is how long, and these kind of drills. But like yesterday morning, I got up at 5:30 and I did 12-mile bike ride, 4-mile run. So I'm getting off the bike, trying to get my legs ready for the run. And then today I'm going to swim and run. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm going to be fierce, man.
That is like super organized.
We've talked about this before. It's a personal problem of mine because I don't do anything half-assed, and so I'm really enjoying the training.
That's amazing.
My body's going to rock in another month, and then I'm going to stop, and it's going to go back to normal.
Then you're going to balloon up as you were before.
I'll be a runner. I just won't have the arms and the thighs that I'm getting from the bike and the swim. It's pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So this weekend, I'm super excited. Yes, I know I talk about it a lot, but I love this meeting. Ladies of the Mill.
Yes.
This weekend, I am so excited to see friends, meet some new people. And of course, I'm going to be recording. And last year, I talked to so many amazing people. I'm looking to do it again this year.
I'm sad, but God, I need a vacation, man.
Yeah, you should be sad.
That's so bad.
Timing is everything.
Yeah.
So, of course, Barb's not going to be with us, and, we understand. But make sure you check out our social media this weekend. There's some exciting events. I'm going to try to post some pictures. I mean, honestly, I'm terrible about taking pictures in the moment. When something's going on, I want to be in the moment. And the last thing I think of is taking a picture. But I'm going to try.
Good for you.
I'm going to try. So all of those that are attending Ladies of the Mill, please come find me at the podcast booth or the Preet booth. They're right next to each other. And we're just going to have a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody.
I think you should get a big picture of me and put it right there so you don't forget.
Cardboard stand-up?
No, just a head.
Oh.
Just the head.
Well, I was going to say, once you're ripped and trained for the triathlon, we could do a cardboard stand-up. And then you'll always be ripped and ready to go.
That's not a bad idea, bro. Let's do it. We do need new pictures.
We do. We got to be together at some point.
No, next time.
Next time.
I won't screw it up next year, I promise. But I am bummed because
Yes.
I really, really, really wanted to go to that meeting.
It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Barb, we have an exciting announcement to make.
I know. Give it up.
This is awesome. So we usually don't talk about stuff this exciting. And it's been super hard for Barb and I not to talk about this. I'm on social media a lot, and it was hard for me not to leak this. We have a new sponsor for the podcast. They just started this week. Asiga.
Yes.
They, of course, make one of the best printers on the market. I go to a ton of labs these days, and it is consistently the printer that people don't complain about. So a while ago, I made a meme, as I've been known to do, and just in the description of the meme, I made a joke about trying to get everyone's attention, and it said, free printer. And that was it. Oh my gosh, I'm going to click on it, to get more people to notice it and like it. That's all I said was free printer. Well, Corey Lambertson, who runs the North American division of Asiga, and who was also on episode 203, he sent me a message asking if we were actually giving away a printer. And I told him, no, I'm just joking. I just wanted to get people's attention. He goes, well, how would you like to make it real? I was like, really?
Yes, sir.
Weeks later, here we are. We're announcing the very first ever Voices from the Bench and Asiga giveaway.
And the crowd goes wild.
Woo!
Too cool.
Okay, so this is what you can win. Now, this is amazing. It's called the Asiga Max UV Bundle. That includes an Asiga Max printer, a resin tray, a bottle of Denta Model resin, an Asiga Dental Expert shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't like a cool shirt?
No doubt.
And actually, this is the best part. A 2-hour one-on-one training by Corey Lambertson himself.
Wow.
This total value is about, now ready for this, $11,000.
Wow.
That is more than my first couple cars.
That's true. Mine too.
Yeah. Now, to have a chance to win this, you got to do something. It's pretty easy. But pay attention so you don't miss this. You have to go to voicesfromthebench.com/Asiga. That is ASIGA. So just go to our website. If you go to Voices from the Bench, on the top part is the menu. Pull it down. You're going to see the Asiga printer giveaway. There you will fill out your information, answer some simple questions, and you will be in the drawing for this amazing package from Asiga. It's a simple task for an amazing printer.
Simple, guys. Go to voicesfromthebench.com/ASIGA. Fill it out and win it.
Yep. But don't waste any time. We're cutting off this contest on Sunday, August 14th, 2022. I add the year because people will be hearing this episode for decades.
Smart man.
It's about a month. So remember, like Barb said, voicesfromthebench.com/Asiga. And Asiga, we super appreciate the support of the podcast.
Yes.
And this amazing contest.
Thank you. All right. So this week we talked to a talented and passionate technician from Atlanta, Georgia, Edgar Munoz. Edgar started playing baseball and had no dream of making teeth at all. But after some really bad knee issues, he was left to find a new passion. And let me tell you, this guy is very passionate. Edgar stumbled upon a technician job and quickly found out that he was good at it and he enjoyed it. When everybody was getting laid off, Edgar took the opportunity to open his own lab in his garage and eventually turning it into a full-fledged dental lab. Now, partnering with Noritake, he soon found himself specializing in high-end ceramics, which you guys know I love, and speaking for their company. It is a super great story of someone with drive to succeed and to share his knowledge along the way. So join us as we chat with Edgar Munoz.
Have you unlocked your dental laboratory's potential through 3D printing? Well, with the Asiga, you can. Did you know Asiga has over 500 validated materials on their open material system? And it's growing every day? By harnessing Asiga's proprietary layer monitoring technology with its smart positioning system and its integrated internal radiometer, as a laboratory, you'll be able to produce any indication you desire. It doesn't care if you do models, splints, temporaries, or heck, even permanent crowns. Your investment will be future-proofed with Asiga's rugged engineering, providing you with a fast, accurate, and repeatable machine with a reputation that is time-tested in the dental laboratory industry. If you'd like to learn more about the Asiga's machine or the material offerings, please visit the website at asiga.com. That's ASIGA.com. Or contact your favorite dental reseller. And we appreciate your support of the podcast, Asiga.
Hi, this message is for the many dentists and dental staff that are listening to Voices from the Bench every week. The fastest growing product that we have at Grow3X are our Grow3X aligners. Grow3X aligners are only available from Grow3X aligner certified labs. Why? Because we believe in the synergies that are being created between you, the dental office, and your lab. And we want to further leverage these synergies. Our aligners are, for instance, used as a pre-treatment to larger restorative aesthetic cases. They're used to widen gaps prior to placing implants. They're used to close the diastema, ease crowding, and simply enhance your patient's smiles. Even for your Essex retainer needs, your Grow3X aligner certified lab can help. Look for a Grow3X aligner certified lab near you, such as Castle Dental Lab in San Antonio, Texas. Ask for Blaine. AMK Dental Lab in O'Neill, Nebraska. Ask for Ann. Staggs Dental Lab in McCool, Maryland. Ask for Derek. AA Dental Design in Marietta, California. Ask for Frankie. And many, many more. For a complete listing of Growth3X Aligner certified labs, go to www.growth3x.com.
Thank you, Grow3X, and we appreciate your support of the podcast. Voices from the Bench. The interview. Well, we're going to talk all about that if you're game.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'll talk with whatever I can because it's like a chocolate factory kind of thing. They don't let me talk about too much. It's a Willy Wonka.
We'd like to welcome to the program Edgar Munoz. I think I got it.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, Munoz. Elite Dental Studios out of Atlanta, Georgia. How are you, sir?
Doing good. Thank you for having me here today. It's awesome.
Now, we appreciate you joining us. I've heard your name a lot in the industry, and I know you got a lot going on. But like everyone else, we kind of like to find out how you got into the industry.
Yeah, hopefully. I try to keep everything on the download. I keep so busy with life, and I'm married. I have 2 kids, so plus the lab life, and then I'm in with Nora Talkie with a lot of their presentations and product reviews and things like that.
Yeah.
So, and plus work, and then the lab. We've been really blessed. We've done 0 advertising probably in the last 5 years, and we really are doing none anymore because we're just overbooked. I'm trying to figure that out right now as well. How I can duplicate myself.
How did you get into the industry in the first place? Like, is it a family member or?
Oh, no. So I came from a baseball background, very competitive family.
Yeah.
Ditto. Father played. And then, since the age of 3, I grew up with a baseball in my hand. I remember it was color coded when I was little. And it was where the fingers had to be placed depending on how the ball was. At the time I didn't know. But my dad was already training me where the fingers were going on the seam, so the ball either can curve.
There's a special way to hold a baseball?
Hell yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I don't know these things.
And I played competitively, never thought of dental until my knees were in 2 pieces, and I was in the hospital, and I didn't know what I was going to do. So my career was done. I'm a catcher, so we rely on our knees, and they were gone.
How? Just from overuse, or did you actually get hit?
No, we were playing, and those who know about baseball, it was one of those wet, rainy days, and when you're running to second, full speed, and I was a big Latin guy for my size and really for a Latin guy, and the weight, I turned to third base, and my leg slid going towards center field while I was going to third base.
Oh,
so,
damn.
They just snapped, and all I can remember is I really didn't feel much. I guess the adrenaline of the game.
Yeah.
But I remember getting up and I couldn't do it no more.
Did you hear it?
Oh, yeah, you hear it.
Gross.
That's a sound you won't forget.
No, those were the first injuries to the knees. And, later on as I was growing up, it gave me a lot of issues. And, there's always somebody better with new knees, fresh knees. So even now they're bothering me. 2 years ago, we got a knee surgery with 4 more implants in there to keep everything kind of like a tune-up.
Wow.
Keep everything going.
You're in the hospital after an accident trying to figure out what you want to do, and how did dental come in?
I grew up with that mentality is like when it's over, it's over. You don't sit there and just kind of cry about it. You just move on. And I had sold my equipment. A lot of this stuff baseball equipment is very expensive. Back can cost you a couple $100 and everything. So I was selling it, and I was taken to the UPS station, and there was this big sign that said, need dental laboratory techs. Huh. And at the time, I had one of my dentists, I was into cars, and he had me in the back doing a lot of the model work and just adjustments. And then I saw this big sign. I was like, whoa, maybe I should try that too. I kind of was gearing into being a dentist. But with baseball, my grades were good enough, but I don't know if I was going to make it. So I was waiting on the acceptance letter. And I was like, I'll just go in there and get some experience in this lab. I mean, they said no experience needed.
Perfect.
You just had to pass some kind of testing. I guess they had a test that I had to do with like shapes and numbers, and then it was a weird test. So I was selected within it was maybe 30 people, and then 3 made it to get into this laboratory.
Wait a minute, 30 people were going out for the tech job?
Yeah, that day that I went for the interview, there was a lot of people in there trying to get it.
Really? When was this?
This was probably in 2000-ish. 2001. And this lab it's a big lab. It's an 80 here in Gainesville. It's a 80 plus technician lab.
Yeah.
It was well known. The
Oh
owner
yeah.
was a good guy.
I
Yep.
think most labs would kill to have 30 people show up for a
Oh yeah.
job.
And it was in those good times. I mean, I think that's what was going on. It was good pay, benefits were good,
Yeah.
retirement stuff was still available. So I think that's why. And then the area that I live in, it's more factory jobs like that here in
Mm-hmm.
Gainesville. We're the chicken capital of the world. So we have a lot of chicken plants and manufacturing. We have Wrigley's that's here.
Nice.
So I went in there and I stayed, and then I saw that I really liked it. And then as I was training to go into dental school, I noticed I didn't like blood. I couldn't
I don't
take blood.
either.
Even my daughter, the little one, she's the same way. If she has like a nosebleed for allergies, she'll almost faint. So I'm the same way. So I said that's not going to work out.
Yeah, that's not going to work for dentistry. Yeah.
I was really good at, like I said, making teeth, but I still didn't really realize there was this aesthetic portion of the industry. I thought it was just like a cookie cutter, everything. Everywhere I went was going to be a cookie cutter where you just put porcelains. And we were doing 40 units a day, which was 20 build up, 20 grind.
Oh yeah.
Per person?
Per person per day.
Yeah, we used to
Wow.
do that. We used to do 20 to 25. Those are good
Oh, yeah,
numbers.
that was nothing.
Yep.
And if you got some metal occlusals or something easy,
Then you get faster. Yep.
So you would have 80 units, and that's how we competed for a raise for 15 cents. 15 cents around there. And if you didn't make your number, you didn't get that 15, 30 cents, whatever it was at the time.
Wow.
And then I kind of somehow I stumbled across some of the guys that were doing some cosmetic stuff. They brought in some new ceramic managers into that laboratory, and I was like, "Whoa, there's another side of this." And I started, that was kind of interesting. But then we got hit with the I think it was 2008-ish.
7, 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were getting laid off, and people were sending to China, and I was still learning all about this, like how manufacturing was working, how things were being sent. They were sending out. They let a lot of the ceramics go. I was one of them. And I kind of had my back to the wall. My wife was pregnant. I didn't know what to do, but in a way it was a blessing because that's where Elite Dental was created. I just started taking samples and doing kind of like piecework for other labs. So
Okay. Yeah.
maybe 15 units, go home. And I had bought this $500 porcelain furnace, not knowing that, I was going to make a lab. I was just like, I just need work. And I started getting more, and everybody was like, my name was getting around. Well, he does for a stock that we have of work. So they would send it to me. And I started just, doing that. And then I would buy, say, a waxer. And I started buying little things. And, it's like, again,
That's
I started
so cool.
$500. And like 2 years later, I was having mills and scanners. And
Wow.
I don't know how I did it. I mean, like I said, I'm blessed. I started in a garage and I started learning. And at the time, I was using a lot of the Noritake stuff. And I think Facebook was kind of new, social media.
Mm-hmm.
And I got onto that because, when we're small labs, a lot of people know I think they criticize all these labs, but those labs are the ones that come out big and they learn a lot because of all the mistakes we do. I did every mistake in the book in that garage.
Yeah.
But then I noticed that like I could support other people online on Facebook. That's when they started posting things like, why am I getting this white calcification on my porcelain? And I knew because I had done it. I'm like, well, when I do this, I usually get that. And I think that's how Noritake started hearing about me. And they came to the door, they came to the lab, and they asked me to do a presentation in Puerto Rico. So that was my first time ever kind of getting with a company, because I'm not one to kind of get with companies, or they were very awesome. It was Larry Zeno that came in here to the lab and offered that. He said, do you want to go speak? And at the time, like, I don't even know if I can speak in front of people.
Yeah.
Oh, you could do it.
Yeah, it takes guts. That's for sure.
Yeah. So that's how the whole kind of story went. And we just kept growing and growing and growing little by little.
How did you come up with the name? I like it.
I was getting a lot of people think it's like elite, like you think you're the best kind of thing, but I thought of it different, like a sports perspective.
Yeah.
I was learning from the best. Like
That's elite.
I used a lot of the sports mentality, and I think that's what helped me get through this. Like the wake up early, go to practice, wake up early, go to do some porcelain, get it done before 6, so then I can get it done before 12, so I can meet UPS kind of deal.
Yep.
And that's what helped me a lot. And then numbers helped me a lot, just numbers. And, if it wasn't working, I wouldn't do it. The numbers didn't add up. This was a first family-owned business, really, that I started with no experience with sports.
Yeah.
Sports was supposed to take me the whole way, and it did not. So it helped me really adapt to where I'm at, though. Yeah, that's how it's been going. So Elite has really come from that, where I've been able to get in front of some of the top ceramists in the world. Naoki. It even took me to Japan. I mean, Noritake sent me over to Japan, and I got to see Miss Bond, how the Noritake garden was created. So, they started with ceramics. They didn't do porcelains right away. They're into ceramics, plates, teacups, and I got to train some there.
Wow.
With one of the best instructors in the world, and then the creator of the internal stain as well. And then I got to meet Ms. Bond, which is the actual creator of the EX3 Noritake porcelain. And, that's a big, big honor there, just to go and like personally meet her. And it was kind of fun because she's a person, I think, with a lot of power. So I would see people kind of like in the military, like they would go up to her and speak to her kind of like in the military, kind of afraid to speak to her. And I went and speak to her kind of what I would say ghetto, like, and she really, like, I could tell she liked me, I guess maybe because I was just being myself. And that's one thing I tell everybody, just be yourself and you'll be okay. Yeah. And she sat next to us there in Japan. She was talking to me. She's like, I'm going to go visit you at the Augusta. She loves golf. Like, I'm going to go to the next Augusta golf tournament and I'll let you know. And it was really cool just to get to talk to her.
And she created this porcelain? Is she a dental technician?
So yeah, she was actually head of the, I think it was the schooling there. Well, she was the manager and researcher developer of Noritake there. But she was also one of their schooling there.
Yeah.
They were having issues with the metal ceramics. And so that's when she started like trying to research this and why it was fracturing. And also some of the greening that was happening. So she started developing this with actual Noritake. She got in with them, and that's how they produced the EX3. They figured out it was the coefficiency of what was going on with the cracking and fracturing, and they developed something that was non-greening. And so that's what happened here with the opaques and everything. And they went from there on to ZZR, and now Katana and Zirconias, and it's just grown.
Yeah, it's a big name. It gets mentioned a lot on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
We've never personally had it in the lab I was at, so I don't know too much about it, but I've only heard good things about it.
Yeah, like that's what the first ceramic that I got in my hands was that at that big lab was that. And I noticed like I got a lot of good chromo out of it, and the rest of the stuff wasn't the same. So I didn't really, when you first started, I didn't know exactly, but only the visuals. And every time, even when I had my new lab, I would try other portions, but for my new doctors, I would always go back to Noritake because I felt confident. The colors were always spot on. And that's what I started using. And I always used it after that. I've tried everything else. I've tried other, but no, I've always stayed with Noritake. And it's mainly because, like I said, I learned visually from not knowing the names. I can see the colors now. I'll do like shade tabs, put them on top of the actual bottles.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's how I learned the system is by visuals. I kind of don't look at what it's for. 'Cause sometimes we get mistaken of, if it says cervical, we're only going to use it cervical. But no, I've learned more because I wasn't talented at this field. I had to learn. I'm more like a copier, duplicator. And that's what I tell when I teach people is that's how I am. I'm more of a duplicator. And so I can see color in shade match really just by seeing color, just trained my eye to see that. I'll grab bottles and I'll grab photos and match it that way. And really not look at shades. And I'd look at values, chromas, and either, green, brown, yellow, oranges, and look at it that way. I wasn't gifted with I can layer 100, porcelains. I have to use what they say is the canvas technique. And that's what Noritake teaches, a canvas technique. It's basically you build a wall and you paint on internals, effects, the malons, and the translucencies. And you kind of seal that with our translucencies, which is clears. And that's how I make my teeth. And I know there's so many techniques out there, but that's what I mainly use.
So you do like single centrals. Do you go into the doctor's office or have patients come by and do custom shades and all of that where you're at?
Yeah, I was doing that a lot at the start, and it was just taking up so much time. I still do that, but I use more photos, and then I'm trying to get into something more photography.
Yeah.
It's been a very long learning experience. It's like you never stop learning in this field.
Yeah.
It's always, you keep on learning and learning. But yeah, I still do that. We do that still here. Yeah, I got a mobile unit that I take out into the office. It has a mini furnace. I don't know if you remember these old little mini furnaces. They were kind of a little squared, and I take those ovens with me. It has no vacuum, so it's only for add-ons and
Yep.
stands.
I've been looking for one of those because every single time it's either in the doctor's office or I've got to bring that big clam, and it's not easy at all to bring an oven into a doctor's office.
Yeah, no, it's not.
They don't make them like they used to.
No, this thing is awesome. It's been holding up, and so we use that. You can put them inside of a Pelican case, and you're off. It's really easy.
Where'd you get it? Barb wants to know.
I got it off eBay.
eBay, there you go.
It was missing the front door, and then I just ordered one, and it was set to go.
Cool.
Nice. You mentioned earlier that you actually adhere the shade tab to the bottle?
Yep.
Yeah, I do test tabs, and then I glue it to the bottle. Now, I don't use Accelerate because it yellows it, so you just lay a little bit of glue on top and let it dry itself, and it has the actual shades on there. So I memorize everything by color instead of by name.
That's a ceramist trick, Elvis.
Is it really?
Thing. Oh, yeah. It's great because then you can see exactly the saturation and the color and everything he said. So, yeah.
And the lid is white, so it gives you a nice, reflection of the actual color.
So you really don't even think about what's written on the bottle?
No, it's kind of been like a sports mentality. Again, it's repetition.
Yep.
Colors, repetition. I have a box of like 1,000 teeth that I've messed up, and I've learned what I did wrong, and that's how I've learned, because it's been self-taught in my area. I don't know if a lot of people remember, but back in like 2000, we wouldn't have social media. It was more of you're hiding your techniques.
Oh yeah.
I would go up to ceramists in that big lab, and they would almost like cradle themselves, so I couldn't see what they were doing.
Yeah.
And so that's the era that I grew up until, like I said, I found that group. It was DTG, Damaged Goods, with Von Gro and all that.
Sure, yeah.
And that's how I kind of I'm like, whoa, there's a different area to this that's challenging, because it was getting boring there for a second. It was just dent enamel. But that really relit that fire again to learn more. It's been fun.
So when you got laid off and you opened up your own kind of lab doing work for other labs, how did you go about getting that business? Did you already know somebody in the lab that needed help?
No, it was pretty hard because, look, I was young. I'm Latino, so you don't see a lot of Latino owners that come in. And I would go into the offices, and at the time I had like a handmade script with a little bit of like printed paper kind of advertising. I got the door slammed in my face so many times, or they just like, we love our lab or kind of thing. It was kind of like,
yeah,
it was tough. So again, baseball mentality, you don't give up. You just get back at it. You go to the next door. And I knew that out of 1,000, if I got one account, that'd make a big difference. I went to like 1,000 doors, and got slammed probably 800, 900 times, but got one or two accounts. And then like the doctor's like, why didn't you come a long time ago? Everything was working out because I had already the experience. I had already 10 years under my belt. Plus I had done every mistake in the books. I knew what I was doing, and everything was working out. And I started seeing people start coming, and then it was word of mouth, because I really, if you look around, there's zero advertising out there. It's been really word of mouth, and I give my doctors incentives to, hey, your colleague, I need one more account. Do you know anybody? I'll give you free crowns or something like that. And it's been working out.
Does that work? Offering incentives to your doctors to send referrals?
Yeah. It does. It really does. It's better than brochures and everything. It goes in the trash.
Yeah.
But when another colleague goes and tells, hey, my lab is doing this, and I'm not having to do this many adjustments, and he is willing to come in here on a Saturday. When you start, I knew I had to, do anything and everything to get these.
Oh yeah, sure.
Saturday morning shade adjustments, and I would like line them up. Like if we had 3 custom anterior shade changes, then we would do it on Saturday morning. Just go through them and then get it done that way. It's been working.
Yeah, it's not easy doing a single central, that's for sure.
No, it's not.
Especially the custom ones. I always say you're going to do it at least 3 times. Just sell 8 and 9, not just 8.
Yeah, and that's how we kind of adapted, where I couldn't get to certain ones, and I started learning how to use Keynote to take like a shade tab, cut it in half, and then take the picture of the tooth, cut that in half, and then kind of compare them to 4 different shade tabs. and you can turn it into black and white. You can see the values, and you can see mamelon. So I kind of adapted to what I had, and again, not knowing how that there was a bigger market. Like I wish I would have knew, so I could have asked for more help instead of learning it the hard way.
Yep.
But that's what was in my situation at the time, to learn it that way.
So you actually got photos of your work, photos of the shade tabs, and kind of splice them together in Keynote or PowerPoint or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah,
and that's how you compared value.
That's crazy.
I compare.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Value. You can see the mamelons, especially if nowadays we have cross polarization, so you can see a lot more internals.
Mm-hmm.
But I cut my accounts now into 3, like your regular crowns, and then your mid, and then your very high customs.
Mm-hmm.
High customs, they got to give me information. If I have no information, I can't help them. And like I tell them, I can't help you, so I can't do this 10 times. And I think that's one of the main things, the mistakes labs do, is make these things 3, 4, 5 times, and it cuts into their margins, and they're not making any money, and they go out of business.
Or you stop making money as soon as you make it again once.
Yeah. Especially with the competition that we have now with pricing. Yeah, it's hard, but I'm learning these lessons as well. Adjusted prices now, and I learned that doctors will pay.
I agree, they will pay. Honestly, if you're giving them something super aesthetic and just absolutely stunningly beautiful, and it's great to have 3 ranges, because not all their patients are going to want to pay fee for service and get the highest end. So to have choices, where they can go 1, 2, or 3, I mean, that's smart.
Oh yeah. Again, that's a big thing. If I can tell any young technician, is don't be scared to charge, especially if you're doing good work. Things are going in the mouth, because the work won't go away. You will get more. Yep. You got to get over that fear.
So how many clients do you work? Are you by yourself in the lab?
Well, now what I did, I've always had a digital mentality. Well, I've tried to get people in here. And since we have 15 labs in my surrounding, probably 10-mile radius,
really
competitive, they will leave you for $1.
Oh, yeah.
They will leave you for whatever.
Yep.
So I've trained a couple of duplicates of me, and they've gone out and done their own thing, which is, I know that's a blessing to them, but they don't last. So now what I do is I look for other small labs like me, and we have 2 guys here, but usually my outsourcing is out. I find the best CAD techs, send them my overflow or whatever I don't want to do anymore, and kind of get everything prepared. Then I overlook the designs, make those changes, send it back, and then we mill here. I'm doing ceramics now. That's all I'm doing. I've got to the stage where that's all I can handle, and I've kind of passed out accounting to accountant and everything like that now.
So you outsource a lot of the help that you need, but just to other labs in the area?
Yeah, to the area. Well, anywhere in the world, really. Just I'm looking for the best. I have a pretty good team now, and either they specialize in CAD only designing, and so I know they're the best, and I send it to them. If I need milling, I'll find a milling, but usually we mill here everything.
Sure.
But we do get because the problem is with me is I had a higher price list, so I have a big number of accounts because they're not sending everything. They're sending a lot of the single unit essentials.
The harder stuff.
Harder stuff. But sometimes we'll get an overflow where like they'll say, look, I've sent this single unit molar to this lab 3 times. It's not working. I need you to do it. So we'll get like triple the work and we don't know what to do. So we started outsourcing those cases, and we'll end up doing all the finishing from the Green State. We just ask for the restoration to be milled in Green State. We hand do all the work, do any changes, and then finish it off here.
Wow.
Are you doing hand diagnostic wax, or are you doing a printed diagnostic?
Yeah, we went strictly digital. Digital was faster. It's more accurate.
Yeah.
3D printed the next day.
Yeah.
You do your jigs. That's what we get a lot of. We'll do clear mold for that, where doctors can inject the composite and they can see the composite.
Yep.
And so it's a lot faster. Digital is a tool that we've really adapted here to grow as fast as we have. But
finally, I'm using digital. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Again, I tell everybody, please be careful with digital, because if you never use or learn analog, you will have issues in the future. And that's what we saw. I think we overgrew in digital so fast that analog is like, it's a big shortage of analog techs and what they're doing.
Oh, you mean in the industry as a general? Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and that's why if you don't have work in your lab, you're doing something wrong. Because right now, we're understaffed, and we should be getting overflown of work. It's coming from the big labs that are doing cookie cutter crowns. It's coming back. They don't like those. it's going to the small labs now.
Which is great. I mean, honestly, I sit in a pretty large lab myself, but I'm in the high end department, so we only focus on anteriors and layering and smile design cases. But we definitely do a fair amount of cookie cutter crowns, that's for sure. And the docs are getting pickier and pickier and pickier. And I think that's great for small labs, personally.
Yeah, it is. It's growing. It's making these labs stay in business, and also making good money and staying there. Because before it was totally the opposite. They were worried about digital. I remember they were worried, and I told everybody, look, don't worry about like digital or doctors doing their own crowns. It actually will take those single units off your hand, and you'll get bigger work that you'll actually enjoy doing instead of doing 10 models for 10 units. Now you're doing one model for 10 units.
Yep.
And it's a lot faster.
Great.
And I always thought, again, mentality is different. Maybe, again, because I come from a different field, but I would see, benefits what people saw negatives.
Interesting.
Yep.
So you started off with a $500 oven. How did you get into digital? What brought you into it?
It was, the $500. I still have that thing.
I'm sure. Does it still work?
No. One of the old whip mix. It wasn't even a whip mix yet. It was the tan ones.
Oh my God, I remember those.
Yeah, the whip mix 100, but they weren't even whip mixes then. And then I just kind of started growing, and I saw it when I was outsourcing. I would outsource a big amount of money out, and I was like, I just can't keep doing this. I need to duplicate myself. How can I do it? Maybe model work. And I started seeing that the scanners were out. And I got into Exocad years ago. I don't think anybody even knew what Exocad was. And I got one of their Medit scanners, and I started doing that, and I paid that off. Then next was a mill, and I would pay that off. And cash flow and everything. Remember, I'm a small business. You can't, credit was zero. I was using zero credit, which was good because I was just cash flowing everything.
Yep.
Cash flow of the furnace, cash flow is more furnaces, more sintering ovens. That's the only way I could duplicate myself. I could design 20 crowns and just throw them in the oven, come back the next day, throw them in the mill, throw them in the oven, whatever, and then finish them off. Because I was just having a hard time finding people. And now it's a little bit easier, I guess, now because I can, but before it was a lot harder.
Are you still with Exocad?
I am. That's all I use is Exocad. It's just easier for me. The system is so open, I can do whatever I want with it. And I'm enjoying it.
So when you go and you give lectures, do you have any that are planned? And if so, like what are you speaking about? What's your content?
Yeah, lately when I started speaking, again, it was just with Noritake. So a lot of it was ceramic techniques, milling techniques, and then the materials that we're using, like katana multilayer, which, changed the game of zirconia. Now everybody's copying what katana multilayer is. So it's been, a very big changing. And I just show them how, for me, Noritake, it's an all-around system. From porcelains to cement to zirconia, you really have everything. I mean, you have opaque, you have everything. So you don't have to look for or try to match colors. It's all going to be the same. Whether we have in the multi-layer different pucks that go for $550 all the way to $1,100, and they're a multi-layer or monochromatic. So depending on the restoration, you can choose anything, and that's your start. And from there, we have our porcelains again, and then our staining glazes. And there's some big stuff coming out here soon that I hope everybody, the newest puck was the YML, which was the Yttria puck. Yeah. And that's what I call the hybrid of zirconia, which is mixing all our pucks into one. So you have very low translucency, but strength at the bottom and high translucency on the top layer of the enamel. To me, that's what it's replacing everything here in the lab for me now.
Wow. So do they have any lithium disilicate type products as well? Or did I miss that?
No, just zirconia.
Okay.
Zirconia with the higher yttria.
So you're doing like a multi-layer and then you're doing a facially layered.
Yeah, exactly. Because remember, like with the multi-layer, what helped me was that it's your dentin and your enamel layer. So you're no longer having to put that on anymore.
Oh, heck
And if you get yourself a good canvas, you have a canvas of enamel. And so all you're doing is placing your enamel-ons, and then you're going to layer that with translucency, or you're adding chroma. You can do all your adjustments inside of the zirconia and layer it, or you can do it all as a full contour zirconia as well with our staining glazes. Because we have internal staining glazes and external staining glazes. So it's an awesome, I just love, like I said, I'm covered in every possible situation.
So when you say internal, are you like staining like the core and then fire that and then layer over that?
Yeah, when I say internal, like you'll do a digital cutback. So we'll just say essential right now. You'll
Yep.
do a digital cutback, you mill that. And so you have a cutback central that's multi-layered, dent enamel ready. In that, you can already do, fracture, your fractures, your crack lines,
Yep.
calcification.
Okay. Yep.
You're adding chroma or maybe more translucency. And then you're sealing that. It's covered.
Cool.
Because a lot of it with the mono is getting, my wife's a dental hygiene, so she tells me, look, on these monolithics that I see from other labs, when we do our cleanings, we're basically pressure washing the stain out. And that's why I think it's a lot better when you do internal staining, and then you seal that with porcelain, clear porcelain.
Yep.
And that way it stays, because 2-3 cleanings and that staining glaze.
Gone.
Really?
They use basically their what their instrument is a pressure washer.
Yeah.
Crowns.
I never thought of it that way. Is that a high fusing or a low fusing? Like, what's your high temp Fahrenheit? Are you Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Yeah, we have high fusing and low fusing
Okay.
staining glaze and porcelains. We have, so like I said, it's an awesome kit.
I love it when we have ceramists on the
I know.
podcast, Barb, and you can just go all nerd out.
I
No,
am,
it's fine.
yeah.
I'm like, fusing? What are you talking about?
It's just fun. Like, to me, this is what I love now. Love doing this. Because you never stop learning, and you go to the next guy, and you just keep learning their techniques or what they're doing differently, and you adapt. And that's why, like I said, Elite, that's where it came from. It's getting all these techniques into one, and that's like my style. It's just, you make your own style. And I think that's what every technician is so cool to see, is their style.
Yeah. Do they send you the newest before they release it so you can play with it and give them feedback?
Oh, yeah, we had that YML when it was still in Europe, and I got that. We get that. Again, being a KOL, like key opinion leader, you do get that. You get a lot of that, and you start testing it, and also trying to figure out if somebody else does something wrong, and trying to figure out so you can tech support it later in the future.
Damn.
Wow.
Awesome. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Do you put all this work into all your units, or is it just those elite?
No. Everything I touch, I try to give it 100%. Again, I'm here to win.
Yeah.
I tell everybody I come from a sports background. I still have that want to win. And it's really like I think I'm the best thing. It's a competitive thing in me. Like
it's you against you. I know.
Against me.
Yep.
And again, if you want to win, you got to be good. So you got to keep learning. And I'm here to win. And every porcelain, every restoration, I don't want it back. I don't want to see it back. So I'm going to give it 100%. Again, I make mistakes and I make errors, but I try to minimize that.
Yeah.
So do you do a lot of hands-on courses?
I was doing it before COVID. After COVID, it slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
We're starting up again, and we're going to go back at it again, especially with Noritake.
Yeah.
There's only a few companies that I really have. I try to watch out with that, with trying to get on board with everyone, because it just doesn't work. Again, it's a team thing. They're a team thing too. They want to win. So it's very hard to just get on board with everyone. And then in the end, you can't make them win,
Yeah.
Sure.
And you can't feed it into them.
Yeah.
I've tried.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever really talked to anyone that puts on hands-on courses that kind of describe how you get ready for something like that.
Oh yeah, I've done it for intro to porcelain to expert porcelain. Again, you start from the bottles to the colors, and you kind of educate them on there and what the materials are, because that's the issue. Is sometimes we just throw all these colors at people, they don't know what it's for.
Yeah.
So we kind of start again, dentin and enamel. Those are your two most important layers for me in ceramics: is your dent and enamel and where you place them. And then from there on, it's you just start growing and you do a little bit more. But we do a lot of hands-on courses. I can ask to see what the next one is, and we teach people how to use the ceramic systems that we have, and for them to be successful. And it fits some people and some people doesn't. But we try to give them, because a lot of these techniques can go over to other systems.
Yeah.
They all have dent. They all have enamel, and then the mentality of internal staining. Again, that internal staining, if you've never seen, that's one thing you got to learn. It's very powerful.
But do you start these courses and in your mind you're thinking all these that are attending have no idea what they're doing, or do you?
No, we get them from all different expertise and experiences.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mentally, when I start, I'm giving everybody. I treat everybody the same. So yeah, I treat them from day one of what I learned, and like if they didn't know anything. Because remember, when I go listen to somebody else just say, I go to Japan or I see Nandas or something, I might know exactly what he's talking about, but there's one thing. If I can pick up one thing from every person,
Sure.
I'm like growing as a technician. And so I try to teach them everything from the start. So if there's one thing that maybe somebody didn't tell them, then that's going to help them and make them grow. They're like, oh, I knew all the advanced, but I didn't know this intro thing. For example, like in the Noritake system, our enamels are not translucent. So a lot of people are adding it as translucents, and it's not. It's a desaturated dentin. Our luster porcelains are translucencies. And so when you go to another system, the enamels are your translucencies, but not in Noritake. They're just, it's a transition layer. Our enamels are transition layers. Little stuff like that. If you don't know, then you're building this crown without translucency, thinking that you're using enamel. But little things like that.
Yeah.
Teach them.
Yeah, Elvis,
sure.
You got that right.
Yeah, totally. Something about A2. That's all I heard.
Yeah, it gets so fun just talking about it. I can talk for hours about porcelains. And again, it's not the only thing I do in life. There's so many things. Like I do a lot of motorcycle. I stay busy. That's why, again, even today, I was asking questions before. What time do I have to be there? Because I have so many things that are going on. But I love dental. Dental's been a blessing. Dental's helped me grow. And it's cool to see patients, like after you give them the smile of the life changes you've given them.
Yes.
It's like, wow, it's like, this is like a human part we're making.
Yep.
It's going into somebody's mouth and it can change that 15-year-old self-esteem. Like he has his mouth covered because he has two centrals that are cracked from sports or whatever. And you give that back to him, he's a different kid, different person. That's the greatest thing that I think that can happen. Again, that's why I'm here to win is to give those patients. It's gratifying. I don't know.
And you meet a lot of them, right? Like you're pretty close to a lot of your clients.
Yeah, I'm very close to all my clients and doctors. We text message. I give them personal numbers.
Same here. Yeah.
If I answer the phone, I don't let anybody else answer the phone. And I'm hoping to do that, till the last day that I can do a crown is also always answer the phone. So that way there's no mix up, there's no anything. You give them that personal touch. And I think that's one of the biggest advantages of my success is giving that personality and that trust that they can text you or call you whenever they need you.
Yeah.
And they do. They text photographs, RXs, questions.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I'm the same way, but you're always there for them and they know it, and it builds loyalty very, very, very quickly.
Oh yeah. It's very hard for another competition to come and replace me. So, and you have to do that nowadays. Yep. It's like in any other field, it's done except dental. Dental, I've trying to bring techniques and things you don't do in dental yet to this industry. And again, that personalization of talking to that doctor is one of them, and just learning new things. But it's been growing. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
So what's your personal goal? Do you want to get, just keep getting larger, or do you just want to maintain where you're at and just keep your quality high? Because that can get, once you make that leap,
it's a balance.
Too much business. And I was just telling Elvis about that, and then your quality. So what are you thinking for yourself in 5 years for your lab?
Oh yeah, that's already happened. We've been doubling every year. Damn. So I came to a point, I think it was maybe 5 years ago, this happened to me, where I was just, I think I had 32 accounts. They were sending a lot and I didn't know what to do anymore. So I had to downsize. And then I had I had to sit with myself and really think about it. And I think that there's so much work out there that I would grow and never be, big enough. Mm-hmm. So I'd rather just do quality. And I think that's what we're going to stay at. And that way it gives me time with the kids, with my two daughters. Mm-hmm. I take them to school still, and then I see them in the afternoon and then be with the wife. Because there's a life balance we all have to have.
Oh, yeah.
Or else, I've seen a lot of bad things happen. So I keep that balance, even with my personal side. I go out with the guys, do motorcycles or do this, do that.
And live a little
outside
the lab. Yeah.
You can serve two doctors well with good restorations and having those patients happy. I think that's what I can do.
And how old are your daughters?
I got a 9-year-old and a almost 15-year-old. So
what about the 15-year-old? Does she come to the lab and check it out?
No. I gave them goals. I really, I got this far and I wanted to go a little bit further. The 15-year-old is looking into orthopedic surgery to be a surgeon.
Wow.
And the little one wants to be a lawyer. And so, I want to back them up to whatever they want to do. I've taught them the lab life, but I didn't see the interest, so I'm not going to push it on them.
Good.
And I'm going to let them
That's
be their
great.
own thing.
You do more than just central single units. You do full arch, don't you?
I do full arches. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
There's a 4 in here now, which I hated full arches. I wasn't really a full arch guy. And somehow it's growing on me. And I think it's mainly of the fear of there was so much that could go wrong.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
A lot. And being, I guess, not enough education in that field. But now I have done my share of education. Now I'm getting a lot used to it. And I think that's, as I'm getting older, I'm growing a little bit more and seeing myself change as well. And doing different restorations, even surgical planning. So it's been a journey, but yeah. We do everything implant. My main thing I love is single unit implants. I love doing those, just really the whole designing to the milling to the putting the pieces together.
So you help treatment plan the implant, do the surgical guides and all of that?
Yes, we do all that. So
Nice.
That's why I have to keep it kind of small because it is very time consuming. My schedule usually runs from 1 a.m. to about 6 a.m. and then I go drop the kids off at school, come back. So I kind of keep that balance, and then I come back and work till maybe 4, 5, 6, and then go home, be with the wife. So weekends I'm off.
You get up at 1 a.m.?
Oh yeah, it's been, like I said, it's been etched in me as an athlete. Get up.
Yeah, but at 1 a.m.?
Oh yeah.
What the hell time do you go to bed? Like 2 in the afternoon?
I think I was getting 3 hours of sleep.
Wow.
Holy schmoly.
I got a couple of friends. I'm not the only one. You'll be amazed on some of these dental technicians. They would text me 1 in the morning. Hey, I got an issue with my porcelain. We're tech supporting at 1, 2, 3 in the morning. There's a little group out there that's out there all night, does overnighters.
Wow.
They're happy. During the day they're off, and that's what I'm saying. It's a big scope of people out there, dental technicians out there.
It's a good time to get work done if doctors aren't calling you because it's 1 in the morning.
The best time is like 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. because nobody calls you. Nobody bothers you.
Yep.
And then there's the other side of the technician that's still up at 1 a.m. doing the work from the day before. So there's some sort of overlap at 1 a.m.
Yeah, there's that extra shift there somewhere.
Oh, I think we've all been there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I've got a question about the DTG. So are you still attending those meetings? Are you guys still having those meetings?
They're still out there. It kind of died off a little bit. I'm not sure why, but they're still out there. The group is on Facebook, I know.
Okay.
And I think I just got busy, so I really didn't keep up too much, but they're out there. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of handmade technicians out there still as well, and they're out there. I think what happened is the little guys grew, and we didn't have the time anymore.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the word got out.
Yeah.
They were out there, and that was the whole thing. And I'm happy for them. They're out there. They're growing big, and they're doing good.
That core group, I mean, they're all very busy with successful businesses and labs. And
yeah, it's
I
amazing.
think, the participation in the group just kind of died from everyone just being busy and successful, which is not a bad thing.
Yep.
No, and I think that first when I came very competitive, and it was hard for certain ones, but now that it did become competitive, and it helps us because we grow. I saw that with the competition, I grew. It makes us a lot better, and, it gives us a new level, and I think that's what now is my goal, is to share more, teach more, and I'm in that time, I guess, in my life where I want to give back, and everything that I was able to soak up and start giving it back to these younger technicians and teaching them so we grow. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel because these techniques are already made.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But just pass those on, and hopefully we can keep this industry alive and going.
Yeah. Agree. It's very inspiring.
Yeah. You mentioned, you're not really looking to grow and expand, but are you looking to get out more and do more speaking engagements?
I do when they come up, but I'm not really looking for anything right now.
Too busy, huh?
Yeah, but we're doing a North Hockey meeting in here soon in Colorado, so I'll go to that, and then I'll teach our guys internally.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then we'll do other things. We have other things set up. But Lab Day, every year I'm at Lab Day, and I usually do something for Zahn and then North Hockey, since Zahn is our supplier.
Distributor? Yeah, gotcha.
That's why. But usually it's North Hockey, and I'll do usually something each day. And I try to keep it just to that.
Yeah.
But again, I'm just been busy and been blessed, so then I do life stuff though. That's about it.
I think I see that you're into drones. Isn't that what I see?
Oh yeah, I love technology like drones. I fly drones whenever I travel, especially.
I've seen some pretty cool videos online.
Yeah, and I wish I could post more again. There's so much to me that I can do. Like I said, if I ever go under, which I'll probably never in this lab, I'll be okay. Like I'm good at so many things. I love doing so many things, and I'm not worried about that. But yeah, I love drones and motorcycles. I got a military like rifle course that's coming up in 2 weeks, and I'm excited because it's a military guy. He's gonna beat me up, I know. It's one of those like you learn how to it's just a defense course. It's just a de-stressor.
Yeah.
You find something you love and you just go after it and do it, de-stress. But yeah, it's gonna be a hot. It's because it's 100. I'm kind of worried. It's 100 degrees right now in Georgia.
Yeah, it's 100 degrees everywhere.
Being smacked or something, I'm not sure. And then learning some techniques. But yeah, but it's been awesome. This industry's taken me a lot of places: Puerto Rico, Japan, Canada, Mexico. I mean, it's taken me so many countries. I didn't expect this, so I'm really grateful.
Yeah,
the people that I met, it's been awesome.
Do you do a lot of work on implants?
I do. Yeah, we do a lot of custom work. A lot of it we do custom and get custom made abutments. Everything's. Mm-hmm. I think that's our main goal. Our main thing here is custom. Everything custom. Implants, veneers, everything custom. And we're doing a lot of problem solving from crowns that are coming that just didn't work from other labs. So we're giving doctors that problem solving and correcting these restorations. And again, that's just how it worked out. It was never a goal, but it's just working that way.
It's good to be known as a problem solver.
Yes.
People come to you for their needs, and then they'll come to you for other things.
Yeah, if you are in the lab business, if you just become a problem solver, look for a niche for yourself. Like if you love veneers, if you love implants, be a problem solver, and you're going to be okay. You're going to get a lot of work. I'm telling you, there's more than enough work in this industry for everyone. You just got to find your niche. You got to just and go after that niche and then problem solve. Look for there's problems and then resolve it. You don't have to do advertising. If you have any issues with that, just problem solve it and you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
So you like implants, huh?
Yeah, I love implants. Single unit implants, 3-unit bridge implants, anything. I don't know what it was. I just love that.
Every time I do an implant, I bitch about it. I'm just like, oh, and Elvis works for an implant company and you love implants. They're just, maybe it's just the way that they don't have the settings accurate in our place. Every now and again, they don't fit. And
yeah, you have to find, especially in digital, you have to find a good company that has good tech support. The company I'm using, I won't say names, but they have some good guys that are actually building these programs and doing the right settings. So when you mill restoration, that titanium base will fit exactly in there.
Yeah.
And if you see that they're not fitting and you're asking them, then that's not a good. You got to move on.
Yeah.
These guys that I'm using every single time, they fit correctly. If I need tightening, I go to their engineers and say, look, I need this done. And that's one thing that I'm kind of not ashamed or I'm not embarrassed to go and ask for their uppers. I'm like, who's your engineer? I don't need to talk to you. I want to talk to your engineers. And people know that about me. They know Edgar's calling again. There's something wrong.
And we better fix it ASAP.
Like I know the engineers, like Bob Horizon's engineers, and that's a big company. And I'll talk to them. Look, your scan body's not working. I need you to do this, this, and this. And over the years, you just learn that because you need to do this. And I hope, everybody does that and finds those relationships with those outsourcing companies, and especially digital. Implants digital is so fun. There's no more of those stone models. You can just 3D print everything. You can do so many things with these digital world.
Yeah.
Again, it's a tool.
I do enjoy that.
Studio. Again, my lab is more like a studio. I'm here it's like at home. There's no dirt, no dust. It's all, machine. And we still do, like I said, analogs and refractories, but still keep everything clean and studio wise it's almost like I'm at home just working. So I've been enjoying it, changing the way the dental labs do their work. No more of this dust and grinding all over the place. It's different. We just got to move. Again, it's a tool.
Yeah,
there's different opinions out there with digital and analog, but if you both of them together, it's amazing. It's amazing the things you can do with the both of them together.
I can't imagine a lab without all the dust.
No, there's no dust. It's awesome. It's good.
I see on your website you still offer PFMs. Do you still do a lot of those?
We do some PFMs, especially when we're correcting again. They have existing PFMs, but we do send those off to get milled, or now we don't anymore. But we'll design everything, get it milled. It comes back ready. Again, I've seen some people have issues with those metals that are digital. Again, Nortaki has it's a anti-greening base paste, and that stuff works perfect with all the milled or lasered metal.
So you put that on there to kind of opaque it?
Yeah, you use it as a pre-opaque, like an underlayer, and then you opaque, and it covers you from debonding issues if you're having, or greening. It's perfect for non-precious.
Interesting.
Wow.
So as a ceramist, what do you prefer, working on zirconia or a good PFM?
Lately, I've enjoyed just getting PFMs. It's just opaquing again. It feels just like the old days. But I enjoy really everything.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is lately, but I've been back in the lab. 2 years ago, I had 2 bad years. The last 2 years, I had a lot of surgeries from a car wreck. So I wasn't able to enjoy it. Yeah, I was in the lab kind of rushing with those accidents. I think it was like 3 in a row of people just rear-ending me. So I had major back surgery and nerve burnings. That knee fell apart again. So we did the 4 implants on the knee, which I'm rehabbing now.
Wow.
Shoulder surgery.
From 3 different car accidents?
Yeah, they were back.
Wow.
I had a lot of issues going on.
I heard Atlanta's bad traffic, but geez.
Oh, it's getting like LA, because I'm originally from California.
Yeah.
I moved here because of baseball and then my dad's work. So, but I know that traffic. It's getting exactly like here in Atlanta. Last November, I got COVID, and I almost died from that. That was a close one.
What?
Nobody knew that, but my wife was scared.
Oh.
My oxygen got below 80 degrees.
Oh.
I was about to get on the ventilator, but I told my doctor, I'm not getting on that ventilator. I fought it through, and I was fine.
Yeah, the ventilator's when you go on the ventilator, you're in trouble.
Yeah, and that was one of the ones that I didn't have time for COVID, I guess. I said
Yeah.
COVID, I just don't got time for you. And man, I didn't take it seriously, and it got me pretty good. I was down 107 degree. I was emergency room. I was bad, but I think it had to do a lot with the surgeries, and I was down a little bit. My body wasn't fully recovered, and it got me.
It's fighting other things, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been an exciting last 2 years.
Jeez, had no idea, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, thank God you're all right.
That I just go through it and just get it, move on.
Wow.
Yeah.
And here you are back at it and succeeding.
Yeah, back at it again. Not going anywhere.
It's hard to take a technician down, man.
That's right.
Not much that can take us down, except like a non-paying account.
Yeah. Just a bad impression will make us cry. That's it.
Yeah, no more impressions, all digital.
Yep. I'm with you on that, let me tell you.
Yeah, just my implants, I do ask for analog.
Do you really?
Yes.
I hear that. Some labs will totally take out traditional impressions, but if you're doing an implant, please still use it.
Mostly on my full arches, but my single units I'm fine. But full arches is where they...
Yeah, I've heard that often too.
Where scan bodies are not seated all the way. You do the model, nothing fits. Little things like that, those little errors, and then doing everything again, it's a pain. So I try to check everything now with analog.
Yeah.
I'm kind of adapting as the time goes on to what I asked for, because it's still everything we're growing, we're learning now. It's all a learning experience. There's no real history to all the digital. There's no research really until now that we're learning.
Yeah, we're starting to get a workflow that's working.
Yeah.
But even then, it still adapts.
True to that.
Almost daily. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome, Edgar. That's some great stuff, man. Love hearing your story.
I love the fact that athlete mindset is what I love.
Oh yeah, that's one thing I'll tell everybody. You got to have that mind, that wanting to win, always win. And it's like, remember, it's against you. It's not against anybody else. Cause a lot of the techs that lost their labs, it was because they were competing with other technicians and not competing with themselves, making other lab techs happy. And they should have made themselves and their clients happy. And sometimes we forget that.
Yep.
Well said.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. You want anytime. Thank you for having me here. It's an awesome weekend.
Yeah, do the same, sir. We'll talk to you later.
Will do. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Whipmix, known today for its digital equipment and materials, has always been known for decades as the leader in occlusion products with its Whipmix, Hanau, and Denar articulators and face bows. The most popular of these is the Denar Mark 300 series articulator. These popular semi-adjustable instruments are engineered for superior performance and tested thoroughly based on proven methodology. They bring a new standard of interchangeability with factory-set accuracy within 20 microns. With their sleek ergonomic design and powdered-coated finish, these articulators have a contemporary look that is as durable as it is aesthetically pleasing. The Denar Mark 320 articulator features adjustable condyle inclination with 0 to 60 degrees and progressive side shift fixed at 15 degrees. The Denar Mark 300 comes complete with dust cover, 10 magnetic mounting plates, instructions, and standard black carrying case. Head over to whipmix.com to order one today. And as always, we appreciate your support of the podcast, Whipmix.
Thank you, Edgar, for coming on our podcast and talking about your amazing story. We love to hear how someone with a passion for one thing, and in Edgar's case it was baseball, and turn it into a passion for teeth. We are saddened to hear about your bad luck, and especially with COVID, but we are extremely happy to hear that all of it has just made you a stronger technician and a stronger person. So thanks again, Edgar. We are sure to see you on the Noritake stage soon. Guys, don't forget to head over to voicesfromthebench.com/ASIGA, which is Asiga, for your chance to win the amazing printer package from our newest sponsor. And thank you, Asiga, for sponsoring us. And that's all we got. I'm doing your part this week. It's pretty fun. And that's all we got.
We'll talk to you next week.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Don't know what I'd do without you. You're such a good partner. So much more organized than me.